Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under Commanding General Yahana, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person, ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahana. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you stepping.
Shalom. This is to all Israelite groups and all Israelite communities and all breakoffs from One West and breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs from breakoffs. No matter what rainbow uniform you wear, red, white, purple and white, all white, it don't matter. You should all treat the ISUPK like your weird, misunderstood Sabbaths. You shouldn't do anything until you counsel with the ISUPK. We'll tell you when and what to eat. We'll tell you who to marry. We'll tell you who to have sex with and how. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your wives. We'll tell you how to resolve conflicts with your kids, your brothers, your sisters, your parents, your friends, everybody. We'll tell you when and how to pray. We'll tell you how to direct your life in a way that's pleasing to the Most High God of Israel and our Black King Yahushua, a.k.a. Jesus Christ. We will be to you instead of a God. Just like the Most High told Moses in Exodus 4:16 that Aaron would be to him instead of a mouth and he would be to Aaron instead of a God, that's what we'll do for you. It is what you all need because none of you know what the fuck you are doing. I pray you understand. Shalom.
But we do it because we say we live in America. So now you want me to think that because your American philosophy outdo the Most High? The scriptures say you can't have two masters. But it sounds like to me, you have two masters. You done chose the American ways over the Most High ways. Now that you done that, you done put yourself above the Most High. That's what you're doing. That's what you have done. And my whole thing is this. When you realize that you done put yourself over the Most High, and when you learn you done it, do you turn away? Do you repent and turn away from it? Or do you keep celebrating them days? That is why what that scripture is saying is so real. Because when I found this truth, guess what happened? I put my birthday away. When I found this truth, I put the drugs away. When I found this truth, I quit whoring my sisters. When I found this truth, I started becoming a better man and a better person. Because now I know I'm on that narrow path. Now I know I'm on a righteous path. Now I know what I'm doing is going to get me somewhere. That is why not only should you be following these scriptures, or like Christ said, like he says, believe on me as the scriptures say believe on me, man. Not as you want to believe on me, not as you think that I am. You gotta really understand and comprehend what this brother been telling us the whole time.
You gave me?
Oh no, Mr. Trevor, no. Yeah, like you did. Mic check, shalom. Let me see, turn me up. Mic, shalom. There we go. All right, hey, shalom, Israel, shalom. Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shah, Barakatham to all the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shamar, Alathan, Bahashem Yahweh Shah to all all the sisters. You know what I mean? We the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, start out on 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. This is the Friday Night Lashawan Kodash class where we break down the scriptures from a linguistics perspective. You know what I mean? We've been teaching Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans the truth according to the Bible since 1969. And a huge part of learning your culture and your identity and the Bible is learning your language. You know what I mean? Because that was the first thing that they stripped from you. When they brought us over here on slave boats, I heard it was like 1,200 slave boats that was bringing Black people over into the Americas. I don't know how true this is, but it was several boats that brought us over here from the America or into the Americas to put us in captivity. And you know what I mean, and the first thing that they do when they either strip you when they take you from another country to serve in America, or they steal America from you, is steal your language and your code. That's one of the first things that's the first thing that they do. You know what I mean, during the transatlantic slave trade, they stripped us from our language, which is how we know that the Africans, who we are not, that's how we know we're not Africans, and we were separated from them because we spoke our language. We kept our culture. We had a separate culture from them. So that's how we were able to be separated from them, and they were able to be separate from us. And that's how they was able to sell us into captivity. And then
It's like it.
the Native American. Oh, please go ahead.
That's like this is back on. This is piggyback what you just said. Like even either modern day today, Africans that's over there now, what they speak, they don't speak Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? So that's even more tell you that we not the Africans that's in African now. You know what I'm saying? Because if we was those people, they would be speaking Hebrew. It's like it.
God, no. You know what? You know what's so heavy about what you just said? Let me see if I can find this real quick. Give me 1 second. Bear with me. Look up real quick the Nigerian currency, and see if I can find this for you, because this is how much they knew that we weren't their people. Yep, Nigerian currency. Just look up Nigerian currency. What's the name of the Nigerian currency? And this is so important because Black people, so-called African Americans, like even in the name, we call ourselves African Americans. We associate ourselves with Africa, but we are not Africans. And then, you know, most Africans that come over here, they separate themselves from us. But sometimes, you know, because everybody want to be Black, everybody want to be associated with us. Everybody want our rhythm, but don't nobody want our blues. Everybody want to be a nigga till it's time to be a nigga. So they try to associate themselves with us. But this is proof positive in the Bible that they are not us. Go ahead. Let me know what the
I got the AI. It's like AI is in the Nigeria Naira.
Naira.
The Nigerian Naira is the official currency of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Okay. Now let me show you something real quick. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna share the screen real quick so I can just show you. And you, how good is your Hebrew, priest?
Yeah, it's okay.
It's all right. It's so. Okay, yeah, we got to get back into it. Okay, let me. You got a Bible Hub on your phone? Now I'm gonna share this real quick. So lock it. Bear with me 1 second. And everybody watching online, if you got any questions or comments, you could put it in the chat. Make sure you like, share, subscribe to the platform, whatever platform you're watching on. Share it with your loved ones, share it with your enemies. You know what I mean? So that we can just crush them. You know what I mean? Feed them to us. You know what I mean? Because that's gonna be the proof positive to be able to get our brothers and sisters to understand how, you know, just how useless all these other religions that we go into, which are hosted by our oppressors and their fake gods. We're gonna show them how useless their religions are and how problematic they are for us to go into. All right, go to Genesis. I'm gonna have you go to two scriptures: Genesis 14 and 24. Oh, but first, before you do that, I want to give you this as well. What's the scripture that say they sold a boy for wine, or they sold a boy for a harlot and a young? You know what I'm talking about? Okay, you know, you just gotta use that concordance. That's all. Joel 3. Ooh wee. Good night. And this is so fitting because this is a World War III scripture. This is what we went into yesterday. What was it? No, Wednesday, Salakia. And I wanted to pull this I- Joel 3 and 3. You could read it when you got it.
This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 3. And they have cast lots for my people.
So they have cast. You know what casting lots is? Casting lots is they gamble for us. We're a game. It's like a game show. You ever see I know that you probably know what I'm talking about. The Price is Right.
Price is Right.
Yeah.
Right? Price is Right.
Yeah, you know the Price is Right. Well, let's see what's behind curtain number 1. Oh, it's what's behind curtain number 1. Go ahead.
Cast light for my people and have given a boy for an harlot.
That's what you know what that means? They have given a boy for an harlot. You know what that means?
Give a boy for a harlot. It sounds like they switch a boy for a prostitute.
What you mean switching?
Like turning him to, I guess turning him to be infeminine, I guess.
No. What you got, sis?
That's they use them over and over.
No. Almost. Well, this next part is gonna clarify it. So they have given a boy for a harlot. So I ask you, sis. If I give you $2 for that icy, I know you got it. But if I give you $2 for that icy, what just happened?
We bartered. You traded.
Yeah. And what is that? What does that mean? If I give you money for that icy, what did you just do to that icy?
I just sold it.
Read that again, Yahweh.
From verse 3. And they have cast lots for my people and have given a boy for an harlot.
So what happened to that boy? First of all, who is that boy? It's in the verse.
Oh, that boy is Israelite.
It's my people.
My people. Yeah.
And what have they done to my people? They have sold. They've sold a boy for a harlot. Sold him, and in exchange,
for a harlot.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Go ahead.
And so a girl for wine.
And that's how cheap we are to them. That's how cheap our lives are to them. You see it all through our history where we was put on the auction block. It was like, we got a strong, let me see if I can find an auction block online just so you can see what I'm talking about. But this is how cheap we are. Good night. Yeah, they don't want to be Google. Oh, this ain't even Google. They don't want to be. They would have us, and this is the thing too. Like they would just sell us, like we was talking about earlier this week. They would just sell us just for the hell of it. Like if they saw our family was strong, like they didn't even need a reason. They would just be like, "Oh, y'all together, y'all strong, and y'all love each other." You know what I mean? I'm gonna sell your wife over here to this plantation. You gonna go down to Louisiana, I'm gonna sell you over here to North Carolina, and then I'm gonna sell your children down to Florida. Now I'm gonna sell I'm gonna sell your daughter over here, and I'm gonna sell them for cheap. I'm selling for cheap. $7. Here's a strong, good, strong nigga. Good, strong nigga. You know, you this, then the third. He know how to plow field. He know how to grow this grain, and he know how to tend to the animals, and this, that, and the third. You know what I mean? Oh, I got a good, strong nigga woman, whatever they could, however they address this. You know what I mean? It's like, I got a good, strong nigga woman over here. You know, she good stock. She, she very fertile, very young. You know what I mean? This, that, and the third. That's how they did us. They sold us for cheap, for cheap. Sometimes they just did it to break up the family, like in the Willie Lynch letters. That was the whole point. That's how you make a slave. You destroy and break up the family. So sometimes they will make good money off of us. Sometimes, like just like how you breed animals, just like how you breed cows and dogs and things like that today, where you try to breed the best stock together to get the strongest breed of animal so that you can sell them. I mean, sometimes they did it like that. Sometimes they just did it just to break up our families, because us having our family broken up is how you make a good slave. You know what I mean? And it's working, because you see today, most of the sisters that you see, you know what I mean, on the pole is selling their bodies. It's commonplace now, because most of our sisters didn't, you know what I mean, most of our sisters, most of our brothers didn't have a father. You know what I mean? It's very rare. It's more common now for our brothers and sisters to sell their bodies or sell drugs and be drug addicts than to have a father. And that's on purpose, because what we reading right here in Joel, the 3rd chapter. Slakia, go ahead.
Uh, and so a girl, it's like, and so a girl for wine that they might drink.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 4.
Go ahead.
Yea, and what have ye to do with me, O Tyre, and Zidon, and all the coasts of Palestine? Would ye render me my recompense? And if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head?
Mm-hmm. And this is what's going and this is what I was talking about with that inflection the other day. Like, you read that like a question, but there's no question mark there. That's a statement. He said, if ye recompense me swiftly and speedily, will I return your recompense upon your own head. And that's what happened in the book of Esther that we just got done reading. Haman, he wanted to hang uh black Hispanics and Native Americans on them gallows that he built. He wanted to hang us publicly and swiftly, and he also wanted to be honored by King Ahasuerus, I mean, publicly. But the Most High returned that recompense on his own head. So the honor that he wanted to receive, not only did Mordecai, the Jew, Mordecai the Benjamite, receive that honor publicly, but he had to give him that honor. He had to give him the king's garment and the king's crown and the king's horse, and, parade him around in the streets and, praise him publicly. That's what he wanted. But the Most High made it so he had to honor his enemy. And then also, he wanted to hang the Jews on them gallows. And him and I believe his family ended up being hung on them very gallows that he built for our sake. That's how the Most High worked. But now let's go ahead to, what was it? What scripture did I give you, Slakia?
Genesis 14, I think 24.
Yeah, Genesis 14:24. Salakia. Genesis 14 and 24. Salakia, bear with me. Bear with me. Bear with me. Now, you still got that Nigerian currency, right? Just read it one more time, just so we all locked in, because I want to bring this all full circle. So remember, we just read in Joel 3:3, they sold a boy for an harlot and a girl for wine. Read in English what it says, and Yeah, the scripture. Yeah, you can read the scripture. I'll read it in Hebrew.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 14, verse 24. Save only that which the young men have eaten, and the portion of the men which went with me,
Mm-hmm.
Aner and Echkor and Mamor. I said Mamar. Let them take their portion.
Okay, so this is do you remember where this is at, Yavash?
What you mean?
Like what's going on, like what the context of like this situation is?
Is
Okay.
it
So this is Abraham, right?
right?
This is so at one point, what's his name? Lot.
Lot.
I believe it's Lot. Lot and Abraham split. So
Oh, this was
uh
talking about. So like it was talking about when the
mhm,
herdmen was beefing,
yeah.
and Lot and Abraham told Lot, you take the east of the Jordan or the west of the Jordan, wherever you choose, I'll take the opposite.
Hmm. Yeah. So this is how they ended up splitting up what you just described. Now, when they split up, uh this is how Sodom and Gomorrah ended up being, I believe, how it ended up being established. So when they split, or you know what, not how Sodom and Gomorrah ended up being established, but this is how Lot ended up in Sodom, uh in Sodom or near Sodom. Uh and during that time there was a beef in that region between two rulers. And during that time, uh Lot ended up getting caught in the crossfire. So he ended up getting taken captive. He ended up getting his belongings stolen and things like that. So Abraham caught wind of it, and he went and with his young men to go and redeem his relative. And after he redeemed his relative, that's where we at right now. Like they will, yeah, they wanted to, whoever, I can't remember, the winning side, basically they was like, hey, since y'all helped me out, take whatever spoils. Abraham was just going to get his relatives, and whoever was the winner, I mean, that was like, hey, take your spoils, take whatever you want, since you helped me out, since you was so, you know since you did what you did, take your spoils, take whatever you feel fit for, what I mean, for a reward. And Abraham was like, look, I just came here for Lot. What I mean? So you keep whatever you keep whatever. Just make sure you take care of my boys over here that came and helped me out. Make sure they got what they got. But Abraham denied that so that the Most High could get the glory. But that's the whole point of that. But the word for young men here is Nairayum. That's the word for young men. If you read in the Hebrew
Yeah,
in Bible Hub, and the root word is Nair.
Naar.
Young men is Ha Naarium. All right, now let's go to Genesis 24 and Salakia 16. Now, remember those 4 steps. So the root word here that I had on the screen is Nair. Mm-hmm. Nair. Now, how would you make that feminine, quote unquote? What's the easiest, the most common, straightforward way to make a word feminine? Mm-hmm. Add what at the end of it?
I think WAM. No.
No, no. It's in most sisters' names. What's What's the most, huh? Okay. Oh, go ahead.
A why?
No, no, but that's an excellent try. Usually, if you want to, it's a servile tense. We don't call it a feminine tense. It's a servile tense because you could see it behind, something that's quote unquote masculine. But to make it what we identify as feminine, you usually add a ha at the end. So what would be, and what's that currency?
Is Nigeria Naira.
Naira.
Mm-hmm.
And what's a young man?
Naira.
Mm-hmm. And then where we at? Salak. Let me see if I can Salakia. Did I overlook it?
What you looking for? There was on. What you looking for, young man?
Oh, here we go. There we go. So the first one, go to you got Genesis 24:16 real quick.
You read it.
Yeah, please.
Come on, the book of Genesis, chapter 14, verse 16. And he brought back all the goods, and also brought again his brother Lot.
Where you at?
Genesis 14 and 16.
No, Genesis 24:16. Salakia. So in Genesis 14, we just saw the word for young man is Na'ir. Mm-hmm. Or Na'ira, because a young man, like in the school, if you're a young man in the truth, you serve when you're a young man, you're just a student. You just come in to learn. And then rank and order, you become a trooper after that. And then the troopers, you're not allowed to teach. You just serve the school. You know what I mean? You come in, you might hold shamar, you'll move chairs, you'll mop the floor, you'll sweep, you'll take out the trash, things like that. Just cause, I'm just rank, you know what I mean? You're in the learning stage, you're not able to teach. You know what I mean? But what you can do is take out the trash. You know what I mean? Salaki, let me. So this is the root word right here. Keeping those 4 steps in mind. This is the root word, right? Which is a young man. Now, read that again, Salaki, in Genesis 24 and 16.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 24, verse 16. And the damsel was very fair to look upon, a virgin. Mm-hmm. Neither had any man known her.
What's a virgin?
A young lady, young woman.
A young woman. Mm-hmm. Now, we just found the word for young man. Now, we looking at the word for young woman. So the first word in this verse or the first phrase rather, is Waha Naira. You see it right here. So this is the root word right here. And then you have the feminine or the servile tense. You have the servile tense behind it. The ha. The word for, just like we just read in Joel 3:3, the same word that these Africans use for their currency is the Hebrew word for our young men and our young women. It's the exact same word. Now, why do you think that is? What you got, Priest? You look like you.
No, I was thinking.
Oh, no sweat.
It got me thinking.
Mm-hmm. I'll tell you why. Go ahead, read Joel 3:3 again.
This is the book of Joel, chapter 3, verse 3. And they have cast lots for my people,
Mm-hmm.
and have given a boy for a harlot, and a girl, and so a girl for wine.
And they did what?
Sold a girl for wine.
So why is the name for the African currency the same word for what we call young men and young women?
It's like they've been selling young men as young women
For cheap, for wine and for harlots. That's what they did. So anybody that says we're Africans and that's your oppressors go to. They like they like, oh well, whenever we try to hold them accountable for what they've done to blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they like, oh well, black people sold black people. They like, oh well, Africans sold Africans. No, Africans sold Hebrews. They sold Jews. They sold the Lord's chosen people. And you know that because their language, what they call black or what they call our young men and young women is just currency to them. Our people was just currency. And that's how we ended up over here. Because we was just currency. I don't know what they got from selling us. I have no idea. Probably nothing. It was probably because they sell us for cheap. You know what I mean? But yeah, we are not African. Long story short, straight up and down, we not them. But all right, we can go and get into the lesson. Did you had any questions or anything before we get started? Okay, well, as promised, sis, we're gonna go ahead and go into the salute. All right. So we gonna get you straight. So let's go ahead and get rid of this. And if anybody
I have a question.
Oh please, yeah, go ahead.
So who are the Africans?
They are look up you know what I want Yawash. I'll tell you exactly who the Africans are. And the thing is, everybody try to make us the same people. Everybody try to make us the same people, but the Lord says otherwise. He makes a difference. And I wish I had another brother here. We gonna pull a scripture after that. You go ahead and read what you got. You got it right.
Because they really act like the majority of them act like they really don't like us.
Because they don't, and they have no reason to. Because we were chosen and they weren't. So go ahead, read what you got. This should make it crystal clear.
This is the definition of Ham in Zondervan Bible Dictionary. Ham, the youngest son of Noah.
So you got that right, sis. Ham is the youngest. So after the flood, there were 8 souls, and we gonna get that scripture as well. But there were 8 souls that survived the flood. There was Noah, his wife, Ham, Shem, Japheth, which were his 3 sons, and then their 3 wives. So that's 8 souls, right? So read that again, Slaki.
All right. This is Ham, the youngest son of Noah.
Mm-hmm. The youngest son of Noah, Ham, right?
Born probably 96 years before the flood.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark race.
The progenitor of the dark race.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the problem. Not all skin folk is kinfolk.
Right.
So just because we got black skin, we got dark skin, we think that everybody with dark skin is our people. We were poisoned with colorism because that's something that came from our oppressor. That's how they divided us. Like if you go back into our history of like how the slave trade progressed, allegedly, um, so it started with them just selling us, into captivity, and there was apparently a point in history where we was able to redeem ourselves by either way of marriage. So if you married a free man or a free woman, then you were also free. Or there was a certain period of time where you would work and then you would be able to acquire your own land. You would there was certain avenues that we were taking advantage of to be able to redeem ourselves, and that's also why the Battle of the Alamo happened, because the Mexicans, which they try to divide us from, the Mexicans, they were against slavery, and they was like, we were intermarrying with them, and they was like, you know how Harriet Tubman had led the what's it called, what the Underground Railroad. She had led the slaves, the Underground Railroad up north. There was another Underground Railroad before that that led to the South. So there were many avenues, and if we had made it into Mexico, then that means we were free, because slavery was abolished. Slavery was unlawful in Mexico, and Mexico included Texas, Oklahoma, all the states surrounding Mexico and Texas that you see today. Oklahoma, I believe Kansas, yeah, that whole coast, that the whole southern coast, that's close to Mexico. But that's why the Alamo battle happened. But it's like, what you about to
I
say?
was say with Sam Houston.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
You been reading it?
I'm trying to select you. Trying to remember. I kind of went off the rails. All right, but yeah, go ahead, select you.
I got you. I got your back on track. I'm here for
Most
you.
the water. Appreciate it.
I'm gonna read it from the top again. Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, one of the 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dog race, not the Negroes.
Oh, who?
Not the Negroes.
Who?
Not the Negroes.
So okay, so that's where I was going with it. So because of that, because we're finding so many avenues to be able to redeem one another, because believe it or not, your oppressor wants you to believe that blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans are not only different, but they want us to believe that we hate each other. That's not true, because before they introduced colorism, we were redeeming one another. So if you was a Native American and I was a Hispanic, then we would marry into each other's families, so that now if you was a slave and I was free, then you would be free, because we're family now, and vice versa. You know what I mean? We would marry with one another and integrate our families, because we were already family, and we would redeem each other. So they just in the mid 17, I believe it was like the mid 1700s or the early 1700s, they just was like, forget all that. If you're dark skinned, the darker you are, you're a slave. And I mean, if you light skinned, then you're not a slave. Or if you're white, then you're not a slave. That's how they alleviated that, because we were redeeming one another. So now that's why we got it in our minds that if you're dark skinned, then you're my family. And if you're light skinned, you're not my family. That's how you got us thinking. We join ourselves to the Africans who sold us. We just read how they sold us for wine and for harlots for cheap. You know what I mean? But we think that we're those people because skin color. We think that Arabs are our people because of skin color. But then we turn our backs on our Hispanic brothers and sisters because they got different texture of hair than us. They got lighter skin than us. That's how that got introduced. Please, you was about to say
yeah,
something?
so like it just because it was not even just the skin color, just the origin of where we come from. They say we came from Africa, so we have to be Africans. You know what I'm saying? African got part of how many countries is in Africa? There's many countries.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So to say we just from Africa, but they don't understand the Bible too. They don't understand how we was coming out of Egypt and how we had to run from captivity coming out of there. We went West African. You look at the map. I think it was a land of slave trade map. They had the land of on the map, a land of Judah.
Yep.
Yeah, so they knew who we were. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it.
Yeah, no, that's the whole point. Like we were separated from them. It didn't matter the skin color. Like even though we were a similar skin tone, and you could tell right now, like how you said, like when we get around them, they don't even look at us as the same people. You know what I mean? Like it's so many accounts of brothers and sisters going over to Africa thinking that they're gonna have a better life, and nah, you got it. You got it.
Because it's what you're saying. Because like if we was them, why they haven't come for us? Like I mean, if you so bent and think that we African, why are these Africans not coming to America come and get us to bring us back?
Right.
I mean, we have the obligation to get on the boat to go. You don't see nobody line up the boats to bring us back, right?
Right. Yeah, that's a good point. You wanted to say something, sis?
Yeah, a lot of people was going to Africa. Tell Africa so saying, we don't want y'all over here.
Exactly.
We don't want y'all here.
Uh-huh. And that's exactly what I was about to say. There's so many accounts of brothers and sisters going over there because you notice, like Yawash just said, they're not coming over here. Like if we're their long lost cousins and brothers, if we're their long lost family, where the canoes at to come over and redeem us? Because if you lost your son or your daughter, your brother, your sister, you're gonna, our people, we what they say, we live hard. We going to find ours. We're not gonna be able to sleep. We're not gonna be able to eat without knowing where our family is. That's how we do, because we actually care about who is our family. But if we their long lost cousins, then where the canoes at to come and redeem us? That shows you that they don't care about us. That shows you that. Read that again.
Ham. It's like it. I can find it. I got it. It's like it. Ham is the progenitor of the dark race.
The progenitor of the dark races. There go that colorism. Because we pretty dark up in here, right?
Not the Negroes.
But read that again.
Not the Negroes.
Not the Negroes. So not all skin folk is kinfolk. So they dark skin, sure. But they're not the Negroes, but
the Egyptians.
The Egyptians.
Ethiopians. Libyans.
Libyans.
And Canaanites.
These are all African nations. And they are not the same. Now let me get Deuteronomy 7, I believe it is. I believe you can start at 3. That's a little above it. It's a little above it. And we usually start at 6. That's gonna bring it full circle. That's gonna lay it nice and flat. But you gotta read above.
All right, gotcha. This is the book of Genesis. It's like the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 3. Neither shalt thou make marriage with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son.
Okay, so the Most High said he commanded that we don't make marriages with these people. So let me see if I can find this real quick. But he commanded that we don't make marriages with these people because we are different. Go ahead.
Verse 4. For they will turn away thy son from following me.
And this is the thing about these other people. You know what I mean? A lot of the law, statutes, and commandments that you see in especially in like Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Deuteronomy, Numbers, it's in direct opposition to what the Egyptians did. Like the Egyptians had a custom of balding their entire body. They thought hair was unclean. So they would shave their beard, they would shave their heads, they would have certain practices and customs. Even Christmas comes from a Hamite or African named Nimrod. So the Most High said that we're gonna find out.
Okay, verse 4, for they will turn away thy sons from following me, and they may serve other gods.
Mm-hmm.
So will the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly. Verse 5, but thus said ye, dealing with them, ye shall destroy thy altar, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graving images with fire.
Yeah, this is why we don't celebrate. We're not Kemet. We're not Egyptologists. We don't follow after African customs. We don't celebrate Christmas because that's another African custom. And then Christmas, it comes from an African custom that evolved into a Babylonian custom that evolved into a Roman and Grecian custom, and now it's an American custom, and now it's just a big disgusting ball of. It's like how can I describe this? It's something called I forget what it's called, but never mind, it's not important. But just imagine like mopping up the floor, and you know how when you make mop water, it's the color or whatever, you use Fabuloso, it's purple, you use Pine Sol, it looked clean, but then you mop the floor and then you go back and forth into the mop on the floor so many times, the water is brown and black. Now imagine drinking that. It's filthy, right? That's how the Most High feels about, us mixing with these other customs. And that's what Christmas is now. It's like drinking that that floor cocktail. You didn't just mop the entire floor. You done mopped your house. You know how black folks do. You know what I mean? We get to playing music and cleaning the whole house. You just drink all the floor water that you just mopped up. Go ahead. That's what Christmas has become. It started with Africa, then it became Babylonian. They added their little 2 cents in, and then the Grecians and the Romans, they added their little 2 cents in, and then America, they added their little 2 cents in, and then now you just got a filthy, disgusting custom that we make sure that we teach our kids. Come on. Yeah. Go ahead. You stay right there. I don't want to get too far off track. This ain't even the topic of the class. This is just she mentioned. I forget who mentioned Africans, but we own it now.
Okay. Let's do the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 6. But thou art an holy people.
Did I miss something? It's a part.
I read 5. A graven image with fire. Verse 6. For thou art a holy people.
Where it says, "So the Lord doth make a difference between them and the Egyptians." It's coming up. It's a lock here. There's a lock here. Oh, this I found it. Exodus 11:7. That's what it is. It's a lock here. I thought it was there.
I don't know. I'm not good remembering the numbers.
It's me neither. That's why I use the concordance. But using the concordance as well. That's why. And remind me, I gotta take some books from here. So please don't let me forget.
Yeah, I forgot my son.
It's so important. It's so important.
All right, this is the book of Exodus, chapter 11, verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue.
Shall what?
Shall not a dog move his tongue?
Okay, so you doing it again. You're reading it like a question.
Okay. I read. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue against a man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord do it, put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
See, okay, you're reading. There's a period there. and a comma.
Way I read it, yeah.
I'll read it for you. I'll help you out.
Go ahead.
So, but against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue. So it's a sentence. It's a statement. Against man or beast, that ye may know how that the Lord doth put a difference between Egyptians and Israel. That's how you read that. If you read it like a question, then it's, it changed, like we was talking about the other day. It changes the entire meaning of the scripture. But that's how, so read it from the top.
The book of Exodus, chapter 11, verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel shall not a dog move his tongue.
So this is what the Most High called Africans. They're dogs. Just like Christ and the Syrophoenician, the Grecian woman, the Edomite woman that approached him, he called her a dog. They're dogs. These other nations are dogs. They are beasts of the field. Go ahead.
Against man or beast.
Against man or beast. Go ahead.
That you may know how the law put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
So the Most High, that's how you know that we're not Africans, because the Most High put a difference between Israel and the Egyptians, these other nations, and the Lord's chosen people. Like we just read in Deuteronomy 7:6, for thou art a holy people unto the Most High God. The Lord thy God has chosen thee to be a special people above all nations upon the face of the earth. The word holy means separate. He separated us. So we are not Africans. We're not Egyptians. We're not Canaanites. We're not Hamites. We're not any of these other nations that they want to call us. We're not what's it called? Kemet. We're not none of those. We're not none of that. We're the chosen people of the Most High God. We are Israelites. You know what I mean? Salakia. Now let's go to Genesis, Salakia. Before we move on, go to Genesis 5 and Salakia. It's like a Genesis 9 and 19.
The book of Genesis, chapter 9, verse 19. These are the three sons of Noah, and of them was the whole earth overspread.
So this is after the flood. All right, go ahead.
Verse 20. And Noah began to be a husbandman, and he planted a vineyard.
So a husbandman is just somebody who tends to the land, or tends to the land, livestock, things like that. All right, go ahead. And he planted a vineyard. Go ahead. And what do you get from grapes from a vineyard? You get wine, right? And now remember, Noah just watched the entire world get flooded, and he was on the ark for 40 days and 40. I think it was longer than that. But he was, it was bad. It was bad. He's seen a lot. Long story short, he's seen a lot. Go ahead.
Verse 21. And he drank of the wine and was drunken, and he was uncovered within his tent.
Within whose tent?
His tent.
So he was in his own tent. You know what I mean? And this is how you know, right? So he was in his own tent. He had a couple drinks, and he was passed out in his own tent. It's like you being in your own crib. Whatever you do in your own crib, you know what I mean? As long as it's lawful. You know what I mean? Whatever you do in your own crib is your business. You know what I mean? You could walk around as long as, you know what I mean? As long as it's just you in your crib, you know what I mean? You walk around naked. You could, eat with it. You could put your feet up on the couch and, you know what I mean? You could do your thing in your own crib. He was in the privacy of his own home. And this is how Ham ended up becoming cursed, right? Go ahead.
Verse 22. And Ham, the father of Canaan, saw the nakedness of his father and told his two brethren without.
So Ham saw the nakedness of his father and then went to go tell his brothers. He went to go make fun of him. All right. That's so dishonorable as a son. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Verse 23. And Shem and Japheth took a garment and said, and laid it upon both their shoulders and went backwards.
And did what?
And went backwards.
So they heard how Ham was being what's the word? He was being a a-hole. He was being a terrible son. But Shem and Japheth, they heard what Ham was saying, and they grabbed the garment and walked in backwards with the garment so they wouldn't see the nakedness of their father. And they covered him. They covered his shame. Go ahead.
And went backwards and covered the nakedness of their father.
Uh-huh.
And their faces were backwards.
Mm-hmm. And their faces was backwards. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
And they saw not their father's nakedness.
Uh-huh. So they, even though they didn't join their brother in shaming their father. Go ahead.
Verse 24. And Noah awoke from his wine and knew what his youngest son had done unto him.
So Noah woke up and found out what his son had done, what Ham had done. Go ahead.
Verse 25. And he said, Cursed be Canaan.
Cursed be who?
Canaan.
Cursed be the African. Now Ham, now Ham is, he is, from the mouth of the Lord, from the man that the Lord chose, he's being cursed. Go ahead.
A servant of servants shall he be unto his brothers.
A servant of servants. Mm-hmm. So Ham is going to be the lowest of the low of these nations. Because all these nations, remember, all these nations are supposed to serve us. And we're going to rule righteously. When we say these other nations going to serve us, we're not going to do what our oppressor does. We're not going to rip their babies out of their stomach and, lynch them and, do all the things that they did to us. We're not going to violate their children like they do to ours. We're not going to do all those things, but they are going to serve us. And they're going to be happy to serve us because we're excellent lords. We're excellent people. We're the most compassionate. We're the kindest in the earth. But they're supposed to serve us. But Ham, the Africans, they're going to be the lowest of the low. So they're going to serve the servants. Please, go ahead.
You said, that's heavy what you're saying, because we are definitely passionate people. Because, man, we know, that's crazy, because we know that what, what the white men have done to our ancestors. You know what I'm saying? And we still walk among them, knowing they have their forefathers and they have their descendants that live upon us. We walk the street, and this white man or his father and his forefather had whip our mother and our fathers. But it was so heavy what you're saying, because the Jewish man, a German, he could be 99 years old, 100 years old. What they gonna do? So they go get him for that war crime.
Yep.
So they don't like to walk among the Germans. You know what I'm saying? Yep. They do find a German that did something. They trying to unalive him. So
yep. No, that's an absolute fact. And I'll take it a step further. We're kind to a fault. We, even though our oppressor, think about this. If you read these Willie Lynch letters, and oh my God, we could go all day on this. I'm trying to wrap it up and get, because we got to teach about the salute. But if you open up these Willie Lynch letters, and it's a real thin book, you could read it in a day. But if you open up the Willie Lynch letters, how to make a slave, they would take the strongest man, the most dominant, the leader of the household, take him out in front of all the slaves, and they would violate him. You know what I mean? They would do something nasty to him in front of his entire family. So psychologically, his wife his wife can't take instruction from this man who she just saw violated in the streets. You know what I mean? And then she don't feel protected because that man's supposed to be her protector, but he just got violated in the worst way publicly. So it does something psychologically to the family. So now that's why the scriptures, I ain't gonna go to it, but scriptures say, children are their oppressors, or women are their oppressors, and children rule over them. Because now you see in our households, the women rule over the man, or really, the children rule over the household. Because why do you celebrate Christmas? You don't believe in Santa Claus. You don't believe in no Easter bunny. You know what I mean? Somebody in the chat, why do you celebrate Christmas? Hey, Hammer, where you at? I mean, where these hecklers at,
Yeah,
man?
Hammer in there tonight. I know Hammer celebrate. I know Hammer celebrate
I
Christmas.
know he watching silently, but he gonna pop in and watch. I just called his name, so you say "Hey Hammer" 3 times, like Beetlejuice. But you know what I mean? Why y'all celebrate? Why we celebrate Thanksgiving and Christmas and Easter Bunny? Why we teach our children these things? We know that it's wicked to celebrate Thanksgiving. We know bunnies don't lay eggs. We know ain't no tooth fairy coming under your pillow leaving that money. That's your hard-earned money that you leaving under that pillow. That's your hard-earned money that's paying for them Christmas presents. But why do we still attribute it to Santa Claus? You want to give it a shot? Well, I know you know. What you got, sis? Why do we celebrate? If you ask anybody why they celebrate Christmas, even though they don't believe in Santa Claus, why do they do it?
I don't know. We been stopped. It's
You
too
right,
expensive for number one. We need our money for other things.
Now you show right, sis. What you got, yo?
I got 2 things. I know you. I mean, the giving one based on the topic. I mean, based on the point. If it was for they're all blaming on the kids.
Mm-hmm. It's for the children.
But secondly, because we don't know our culture.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what the origin of Christmas. If we know what our culture was, we want to do these things. We want to do the things that America deemed as righteous, and that man. If you read the Bible, and read the scripture, you know that's not righteous. But Jeremiah 14 and 1 through 6, it'll tell you, to give you why you shouldn't be doing it. So
no, I gotta disagree with you. You right to a degree, but I gotta disagree with you, priest, because if you ask any brother, you ever had a conversation about Christmas, conversation about Thanksgiving is an easy one. It's a real straightforward to the point one, where it's like the origin of Thanksgiving is the robbing and pillaging and the unaliving and the sexual assault of our brothers and sisters, our ancestors. So we shouldn't celebrate Thanksgiving. And what do they fire back at you?
Like I know my people will be saying, I know many times I've been through it because I committing the truth. The first thing they tell me is, it's family. It's about family.
Yep.
We doing it because we getting a family together.
Mm-hmm.
They also use their excuses like, I was saying like, so we were so oppressed in America. They use their excuse that that's the only time we could get off.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I always come back. You know what I mean? Like you get off when you could. You put it. If you want to get together, save your time. Save your PTO. Your paid time off, and we could put something together and have our own feast.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You just making it as an excuse, but you take time off when you want to take time off. It's like
Now, what you're saying is absolutely heavy. And the first thing you said was absolutely correct. They like, oh, it's about family. That's the most straightforward one. It's about family. This is what it means to me. And then they do it because of the second thing you said, this is the only time we could get off. But I mean, we all got jobs. We all got responsibilities and families and, obligations, and our schedules don't always line up. But we find time to not only just come together for, just for the hell of it. Like we come together for the hell of it. We'll just be like, hey, what you got going on? Hey, come on, hey, come through. You know what I mean? I got the grill going. You know what I mean? I got some drinks going. You know what I mean? We Like we come through for just for the hell of it. And then we also find time in here to keep the feast days. You know what I mean? So, and we in the same hell that they in. We in the exact same hell.
So like that's
Please.
that's why I brought up that part with the culture thing, because we don't know. We don't know that it's not everybody. Not some people call themselves woke, but you know what I mean. But they you say, but it's still for trapping to the kids. But you like some people really don't know their culture. They really think they really think Christ. They really think it's Christ's birthday. They really believe Christ's birthday.
Yep.
But I mean, I'm an old man. I remember coming up and as a young toddler, and my mom and papa used to celebrate Christmas. And this ain't one time I heard anybody sing "Happy Birthday" for Christ.
No, real talk. You can't find nowhere in the Bible where Christ celebrated his birthday. Or you can't correlate Christmas with Christ's birthday nowhere in the Bible. But this is what happens. So it's a lot of brothers and sisters that don't know the history, don't know the origin of these holidays. But once they do find out, and it's most of them do. I'm gonna just skip ahead. Most of them do. They know that what Thanksgiving is about, what Christmas is about. They'll run it down to you because we like to weaponize knowledge against one another in the world. Like we'll go to college and then we'll come back and then we'll be like, "Oh, you don't know this. You don't know this. You don't know." We like to abuse each other with knowledge and information. Like, "Oh, did you know this? Oh, you ain't know this. See, you ain't know my level." We like to do that. So, and you can't tell a black. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you've been black all your life. You know, I've been black all my life. And one thing I know about black folks, you can't. One thing you know about black folks is you can't tell black folks nothing. You can't tell them nothing. Like you tell them like, "Hey, you know the origin of Thanksgiving, this, that, and the third." They be like, "Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, I know." But you still got that turkey on the table. You know what I mean? And that's the point. Like, even though we know the origin of these holidays, we still celebrate them because of family. That's the root of it. Like I think you brought it up. I can't remember if it was you. Somebody brought it up earlier, but the foes, you know what I mean, your foes are gonna be those of your own household. Was that you that?
Yeah, I was gonna bring that. I was gonna say it because I like the scripture say like you coming to the truth, man. Like your house will be divided.
Mm-hmm.
And you got a lot of people like back to that because a lot of us come to the truth and understand the origin of Christmas, but they don't want to go against the grain of their family.
Yeah,
they don't want to be the black sheep of the family.
Yeah.
So they bow a knee.
Yeah.
And continue to do that because they don't want to give up that slaggy.
Yeah. No, that's an absolute fact. That's the point. Your family is what keeps you doing these things. Tradition is what keeps you doing anything. What's it called? I just had the word. I just lost it. It's family, tradition, familiarity. You know what I mean? What you familiar with. That's what a word. I don't know if you was here. The word pagan. The word pagan just means rule. It's just what you was taught because you was poor. You didn't have access to books. You didn't have access to higher, what they call higher education, college and post-secondary education. You didn't have access to that because you don't need an education to plant seeds. You know what I mean? That's how you made your money. So you didn't. So the, you know what I mean? The what's it called? I don't want to say government because I feel like that's an overused word by black. But your government would just tell you things like, okay, well, this is what this is. This is what this is, and we would just believe it, and we passed it down through tradition. That's how we ended up jumping a broom, and New Year's, you eat collard greens and black eyed peas for money and wealth, and what do we do? What else do we do? What's another black superstition? You can't sweep my feet. You sweep my feet, and you know what I mean. All of that that's pagan. That's just because you're poor and you don't have any control. You're powerless to change your situation because you're a slave. You believe in superstition. That's where that comes from.
I call it superstition.
Stupid, real talk. It is superstition. What you got, sis?
From the time my grandchildren, maybe 4 and 5, my daughter taught them that there's no Santa Claus.
Mhm.
There's no Santa Claus. But at the age of 12, from 5 to 12, and I'm like, why are you still doing Christmas? Why are you still doing this table? Why is your house always like this once a year?
Right.
Why? The scripture says that God say, because you are a lover of yourself more than God. You know the truth, but you want to keep on. You're not even following the tradition because you don't know the tradition, but you just lover of your own flesh, doing what you want to do.
Yeah, that's definitely part of what you got, priest.
I just have what she's saying, because I think most of it, most of us are ignorant to the fact that we don't fear God. It's just basic it. We just don't have no fear for God. That's just you know what I mean, it's the you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yeah, that's the straightforward answer. We just don't fear God, but what we do fear is being, like you said, the black sheep. Because if you don't celebrate Thanksgiving and you're around, General Muhammad said something that was so heavy when he was talking about Christy Noam and who else was it? You know what I mean? When our oppressors is around our brothers and sisters, we make them feel dumb. We make them feel so uncomfortable. So when we stand out, they want to interfere. We're afraid of them, because if we stand out, then that puts a spotlight on us, and that makes them hate us more. They love us they love us a little bit more. They love us. Your oppressor can only love you as much as you love your dog. Like, I don't know if y'all got pets. You got a cat or a dog or anything. I know you got a dog.
Not
Pet.
no more.
Not no more.
I got you. I know you're going at.
Your oppressor can only love you as much as they love their dog. Like, you know how they take their dog into, and they love their pets more than us. Mm-hmm. Like, they more compassionate on animals and their dog than they are on us. Like, they be licking their dog all in the mouth, and they share food with their dog and ice cream. I saw a nasty video. It was a Edomite woman. She was licking the ice cream cone, and the dog was on the other side of the ice cream cone licking it with her, and it was just disgusting. But, like, even though they have that relationship with their dog, they still put the food in the dog bowl on the floor, and they eat on the floor. Now, imagine if your dog stood up on his hind legs and you came home from work and your dog was in the kitchen making breakfast. It was like, you about to go to work, and then your dog in the kitchen, he's like, oh, good morning. I made steak and eggs and potatoes for us, master. No matter how, like, they could address you with the utmost respect. What's going to be your first thought? You walk in, the dog standing up on his hind legs in the kitchen, cooking on the stove. What's going to be your first thought?
What man? Get your ass down. What the hell you doing?
If it's speaking English, it's like, good morning, master.
I'm like, what the hell? I'm probably get your ass outside.
I think you're gonna do a little more than that.
I'm do more than that. I'm probably then kick him in his side.
You're gonna do something. You're gonna immediately think that your life and your livelihood is in danger. You either gonna run and leave, or you're gonna take that dude that you love him. You just fed him in his bowl the other day, but he's standing on his hind legs and he's like, good morning, master. I made you some breakfast. Exactly. What you got, priest?
Just heavy on that part you were saying. I just take it to the fact that we do on Friday and Saturdays at camp. Like, there's a bunch of brothers dressed up. We got garments on, fringes on, got our headpieces, and some of we blinging, and we gather around and we on the mics speaking, speaking the truth about the hypocrisy in America. And just like basically what you're saying, white folks come up to him like, how dare you niggers come over here at the Alamo or come here on this street and speak against us.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Y'all, this is not your place to be speaking against us.
Yeah.
Y'all are the bottom of society. Y'all shouldn't be out here talking that we are the devil that the Bible speak of, because that's not your right. You know what I mean? So like it.
Yep. And that's how much you like when they see you stand up and act like a man rather than the beast that they try to make you into, they feel like their livelihood and their world is crumbling. And that's what that means. That's exactly what that means. Because what we just read Wednesday in the book of what was it? I believe the book of now we went to the book of Joel chapter 3, but Second Ezra chapter 6 in verse 8, I believe it is, where it says the hand and the heel is between, or the fate of man is between the hand and the heel. Everything is dependent on whether we stand up or not. So that's why your oppressor can only love you as much as you love your dog. And that's why we're afraid to not celebrate Christmas. We're afraid to not celebrate Thanksgiving, the 4th of July, or Easter, or that's why we're afraid to separate ourselves from the Africans and all those other customs. Salakia, what you had?
That's heavy what you were saying, because like just imagine all Black and Hispanic and Native Americans, we come together and unify and understand what our culture is. Just imagine we don't do any of them celebrations. We celebrate the God holy holidays, and we don't do none of that Christmas, Thanksgiving. Like just imagine how much money your oppressor would lose every year.
Mm-hmm.
I think last year we gave a class, Abiel, myself, cause we did the numbers. Like every year during the holidays, I think people are spending almost like $1 billion just on Christmas. Even for Easter too, I think it's some in the millions of dollars people spend just on holidays. Just imagine. It's like
Now what you're saying is so heavy, and that's where Black Friday comes from. Because in finances, you're either in the red, which means you've taken a loss, or you're in the black. And all throughout the year, because you poor and you trying to recover and from the holiday season, you're poor, you know what I mean? The economy is terrible. Most companies are in the negative. They in the red. But Black Friday is where they recover and get in the black, where they actually make a profit. That's where that comes from. And it's all our dollars because we're poor. So we see this TV. I almost look, I might fold. I saw a TV in Walmart. I ain't gonna plug Walmart, but
it's like what I make. It's crazy what you said. It's like it. We all like it's just the way this is the world we're in, because like that's heavy, because we don't have the resources. Not the, I'm saying the resources, but we don't have Black owned stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because like we forced to use Walmart. We forced to go to the HHB, because we don't have our own resources and our own stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like we have our own stuff. Like brother, nobody would go spend $1 at Cargazai barbecue joint. You know what I mean? Like nobody, you know what I mean? But not we are forced to go to these different restaurants, go to these different venues and spend our money, and cycle our money back into their economy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Cause we can't build our own because we don't have it. It's like it.
No, that's a fact, and that's all part of the play. Yeah, it's all damn right. Yeah, that's all part of it. That's all part of it. A Salakia sis, a Shalom Yahweh Shamar Lata by Shem Yahusha. I see you, sis. Salakia, I see you. The water for tuning in. Lord willing, you still with us. But it's Salakia. With that, what time is it? Okay, I'm gonna try to do this real. I ain't gonna be long with it, but I did want to do this because we could go all day on this. Like, and it's all in the Bible. Like every time y'all say something, I think of a precept, and it's a couple precepts that I didn't forewent. I decided I'm not gonna go into just for the sake of the class. But every time we say something, I think of a precept and the proof, because I want to the Lord say prove all things. But just for the sake of time and the sake of the class, I do want to get in this salute. Okay, you got it. Yeah, you good. The water. But with that, we're gonna go ahead and just break down this We're gonna break down this salute right quick. So this is just how we talk to one another. This is how we salute or greet one another. And also it's a excellent tool to be able to learn the Hebrew. All right. So the first thing that you're gonna learn in the Hebrew is the salute. All right. And a lot of brothers and sisters, they kind of shy away from the Hebrew because it's a different language. Like we already speak English. English was beat into us. Spanish was beat into us, Creole and Patois and all the different languages that we speak. It was beat into us. And we already had to learn that, and now we got to learn this. You know what I mean? A lot of us, and on top of going to our jobs, some of us work 2 and 3 jobs on top of being husbands and wives and fathers and mothers and raising children and dealing with our personal health and things like that. We got to learn another language. So a lot of times brothers and sisters shy away from it. But the Hebrew language is real easy. It's really easy. And so the first thing that you're going to learn in the Hebrew usually is the salute. So I'm gonna write it in the ancient or the Assyrian real quick. And then I'm gonna break it down. All right. So just bear with me 1 second. And the Hebrew is a pictographical language. You know what I mean? So it's pictures. You know what I mean? But each character means something. And in future classes and in past classes as well, in past classes we gone over it. In the future we will go over it some more. But this is just the nature of how we speak. Salakia. And I'm gonna leave this up here for a little bit for reference. I'll just borrow this chair. I'm sure the brother don't mind. Salakia, I stole your chair, priest. I pray most on Christ. So while we on the topic, I'm gonna just show you, and especially you, sis, because you a zealous and diligent sister. I'm gonna give you the cheat code on how to be a Hebrew expert. Doesn't take long. I'm gonna give you the cheat code. All right. So the first thing you want to learn is the salute. All right. And I know, it seems far away, but first thing you want to learn is the salute. Yeah. Ha. Wa. Sha. Oh, wait. I got to give it some room. Salaki. See if y'all can see that. I'm trying to write as big as possible. We got this big old board. All right. Yoshamor Alata Bashim Yavasha. Okay, so this is the sister's salute. All right. And again, this is gonna be the first thing that let me see who that is. Oh, most on Christ. Shalom on Christ, sis. But all right, so this is gonna be the easiest thing for you to learn right off the rip. Because we say it all the time. That's why it's the easiest thing. Like we gonna say it, you gonna see, like, when a brother walk in the room at Yavashta, we say it a little fast, but because we used to it, but we'll say it all the time. Anytime I see you, you walk in a room, I say Yahweh Shema Bashim Yahushai. And then when you leave, Yahweh Shema Bashim Yahushai. Especially, we got the Passover coming up. You come to the Passover, you gonna be, sometimes we don't even make it in or out of a room. Like, sometimes we walk into a room and we got a certain goal, or we got something we got to do, and before we get to the back, from the front to the back of the room, we like we walking through and we saluting so many brothers and sisters. You know what I mean? Like, we say it so many times, whether it's a feast day or a high holy day or Passover, or what I mean, whatever the case is. Like, we just say it so much, eventually it's gonna be second nature to you. So the salute, okay, so I'm gonna say it and then you'll say it with me, all right? So it's Yahweh Shamar Alatha Bahashem Yahweh Shah. So Yahweh Shamar Alatha Bahashem Yahweh Shah. All right, so Yahweh Shamar Alatha Bahashem Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Shamar Alatha Bahashem Yahweh Shah. All right. And Lord willing, I say it enough in this class to where it locks in. And then we're going to break down each part. Right. So Yahweh, you know what Yahweh is, right? It's all right if you don't. You can, but if you do, you can just say it in the mic. Yahweh. That's the Most High's name, according to the Bible. Now, in the Bible, when you read it in like Psalms 83, Exodus, what is it? Exodus 15 and 3 or 3 and 5? Which one is it? 3 and 15? The Lord is a man of war.
Exodus 3 and 15?
I believe so. Well, one of those
It
two.
was Exodus.
Yeah. But when you see and that's another thing too with the Hebrew. I don't want to get too far off topic, but that's one of the words that the Christian church, the Catholic church, misunderstands. Like, because in the scripture it says the Lord is a man of war. The Lord is his name. So when you see in the New Testament where Christ is called Lord, where 15 and 3. But when you see in the scriptures where Christ or anybody else that's not the Most High is called Lord, especially Christ, you just think that that's where that doctrine comes from, where now they believe Christ is God because they call him Lord. But this isn't the word for Lord. This is the Most High's name. But a lot of times when you see the Most High's name in the scriptures, it's either going to say Lord, or it's going to say Jehovah. And Jehovah isn't his name either. That's where you get the Jehovah's Witness. You know what I mean? But the J in the alphabet wasn't invented until, I believe, the 1500s. You know what I mean? The mid 1400s, early 1500s. So that couldn't be the Lord's name because the Hebrew predates that by thousands of years. So there's no J. Like, the Hebrew alphabet is Abba, Gada, Hawaza, Kata, Yaka, Nama, Nasa, I, Pata, Zakwa, Rashata. There's no J. There's no Ja sound. You know what I mean? That's not in our language. So his name's not Jehovah. It's not Yahuwah, because we know that there's no vowels in the Lashawan Kodash alphabet in the Hebrew. There's no vowels. The vowels were put in by your oppressor. So there's no Yahuwah, there's no Yehuda, there's no Yeshua, there's none of that. His name is Yahweh. So Yahweh, that's the first thing. So even in a brother's salute and a sister's salute, it starts with Yahweh. So Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Brakatah, Yahweh Shamar Alatah Ba'Shem Yahushua. All right. So what we're saying is Yahweh, and I'll just write it down real quick. So Yahweh, watch, Shamar, watch. You know what I mean? Like, the more you come around, like this brother right here is on Shamar. That's what we call our security, because the brothers on in the security detail, they watch over us, which brings me to the next word, or the next couple words. Isle means over, right? And then atha means you. So Shamar al-atha means watch over you. Yahweh Shamar al-atha means Most High watch over you. All right. And I'm gonna write it down in the now mix these together. I'm gonna write it down in the Hebrew or the phonetic spelling as well. I'll do it that way. But that's what we saying in the salute. Yahweh watch over you. All right. So Yahweh, the Lord's name, Shamar. I'll write it here. I'll Atha. And then sometimes like during feast days, you'll hear us say a thun. Like when we do the salute, Yahweh Shamar Lathun. A thun is how you make it plural from a feminine context. So, like when it's brothers, we'll say Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Baraka Thumb. We'll say a thumb. That's masculine. So if we saluting brothers, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua Baraka Thumb. If you're saluting sisters, we'll say Shalom Yahweh Shamar Alathun. That's the feminine. So if you're talking to multiple people, all you got to worry about is this. You don't have to, like, we got to say both. We got more work to do. You know what I mean? We got to say Yahweh Shamar Latha Ba'Shem Yahushua, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua Barakatah, depending on who we talking to. You as a sister, all you got to do is say Yahweh Shamar Latha Ba'Shem Yahushua. That's all you say. You don't have to learn the brother salute. So this is all you got to worry about. You got it a little bit easier. But the only change you got to worry about is a tha. If you're just talking to one person, Yahweh Shemar Latha by Hashem Yahushai. But if it's multiple people, Yahweh Shemar Lathan by Hashem Yahushai. Okay, that's the only difference. All right. And then trying to keep up with these markers. It's a lock here. Just bring me to the next. Mm-hmm. Yep. Shamar. Watch. Yep. Absolutely. And then Ba Ha Shum. Shum means name. Ba and Ha is following the four steps that this is how you become an expert in the Hebrew right here. This is what I got here. This is why this never moves. This box right here, this is gonna stay up here no matter how many times you come to class. It's gonna stay up there because that's how you become an expert in Hebrew. That's gonna be your bread and butter. But we'll get to that later. All right. But ba is a preposition that means in, which is one of the four steps. A preposition is just a character that comes before a root word. All right. So this is your root word, shum, which is name. So ba and ha are both prepositions because they're prepositioned, or they come before, they're positioned before the root word. So ba means in, ha means the. So in the name, ba Hashem, in the name. All right. And then in the name of who? Yahawashah. And you know who Yahawashah is, right? No. Yeah, that's Christ. That's Christ. And Yahushua is just a Greek transliteration of, or translation of uh Joshua, right? And Joshua or Yahushua is following the same 4 steps that we just saw a second ago. It's following the same 4 steps. It's Yah as a preposition, which means he, and Hawashai means deliver. All right. So Yahweh means he delivers or deliverer, or he's a deliverer, which that was the whole point. And it's heavy because Joshua in the in the Old Testament, he's the one that delivered us in Moses' stead to the promised land, because Moses wasn't able to get into the promised land. You know what I mean? So he delivered us into the promised land in the book of, in the book of Joshua in the Old Testament. And Joshua or Yahweh Shai in the New Testament, he was the mediator of the New Testament. So we broke the Old Testament. We broke the old covenant that we made with the Most High. So in order for us to be joined back to the Most High, Yahweh Shai, he had to deliver us into the new covenant, he had to be the mediator of the new contract that we was gonna make with the Most High, not according to the old contract, which the covenant we broke, but a new covenant. You know what I mean? Like it says in Jeremiah 31:31. So that's the whole breakdown. This is gonna stay up here for a while. I mean, as long as you need it to be up here, but it's Yahweh, Shamar, Ilatah, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. It's Yahweh watch over you in the name of Yahweh Shai or Christ. Right. And you should have I don't know if Tabazar gave this to you, but you should have gotten a sheet as well that has the salute on it. Did he get that to you? Okay, no sweat. Okay, I should have brought it. What's today? Friday. You gonna be here Sunday? Okay. Hey, Sly, you able to print that off? Okay, you gonna be here Sunday, right? Okay. Yeah, you just remind me. Yeah, and I'll get that to you, and then we'll get that printed off. And the way I learned to salute is I had that sheet. I was able to. Somebody gave Officer Karab gave it to me, and I just practiced it. I had to practice both, but I just sat there for about 30 minutes to an hour, and I just read it over and over again. Like I think Cap told me, like when he was learning the brother salute, he did it. He learned it to the Macarena. Like he was like, I don't even know how to do the Macarena. He was like, yeah, how about Shem Yahweh Shabarakata? Yeah, how about Shem Yahweh Shabarakata? Like, but sometimes that's what you got to do. You know what I mean? Like the scriptures say, you got to become as children, or else you won't see the kingdom of heaven. We got to become as children. It's like, what you got?
Oh, it's heavy what you're saying. It's crazy. It's heavy what you're saying because, like, when I came into the truth, like I was deadly afraid because when I came to I wasn't in the truth yet, but I went to 2 Passovers, not being in the truth. I was going because my son was in the truth. So we would go every Passover. Then the 3rd Passover, that's when I came into the truth. But when you go to the Passover, either you're not in the truth or now you're a guest, I still went up there to salute the Torah. I didn't know the salute. So like we was in the hotel room. Yahadi was in there with us. So I would ask them how to do the salute. So I would try to practice, but not knowing because it's a lot of repetition. Yeah. So you gotta do a lot. Yeah, it's a repetition. So you're gonna get it, even though you don't know it now. But you can be like, woo, woo, woo. You be like, what? But you're gonna get it. But I didn't know. So I had to go. I had to do the tour. I saw all the movements and all that. So it was funny because the brother had to like I didn't say each word one by, you know what I mean, at a time, because I didn't know how to do it. So I was just be afraid. Like, dang, they about to shoot the toy. What can I go at and hide? You know, because I was afraid, because I didn't know how to do it. You know what I mean? So that was heavy, because now I'd be like, yeah, I was about I was like, you know what I mean? So it'd be, you gonna get it. So it's like,
yeah. And if you just put in that effort, like I said, like when I first learned it, like I just had to sit there and just Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabarakatah. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabarakatah. Now let me put it down. All right. Yahweh Man, what it say? And then I picked up like Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shab. You might have to just do that. Just sit down, you know what I mean, in your home and just for about 5 minutes a day, just be like Yahweh Shamar Alataba Shem Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Shamar Alataba Shem Yahweh Shah. Yahweh Shamar Alataba Shem Yahweh Shah. All right, cool. All right, hey. Yahweh Shamar Alataba Shem Yahweh Shah. And then, check your work. You know what I mean? You might have to do that for about 5 minutes a day. And I'll tell you this, it's okay, I'll be transparent, right? So with the Hebrew, I don't let me think of how I could say this. The Hebrew, don't get me wrong, the Hebrew is a special thing because it's a language that the Most High gave us. But I'm not special for teaching it. Like, I'm not special for being the Lashawan Kodash teacher. Because anybody in this room, any brother in the room, you don't have the burden to teach. You know what I mean? That's not a burden that you carry. But any brother can teach the Lashawan Kodash. You know what I mean? Because it's our language. And you can teach the children. You know what I mean? Anybody in this room can teach the Lashawan Kodash. But it just takes effort. That's all. It just takes effort. So when a brother, like, for whatever reason, like, looks at a brother who does the Lashawan Kodash as if they're set apart, it's hard. It's hard for me to like, overlook it, because it's like I'm not special. I came in here just like everybody else, not knowing it. And, I just sat there for about 5 minutes and was just, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah Barakatah, Yahweh Shamar Latah Ba'ashem Yahweh Shah. And I learned the Lashawan Kodash alphabet. I learned Abba Gada Hawa. I did the same thing with the Lashawan Kodash alphabet. I just took the sheet, because, we got the printout for this too. And I had the printout, and I was like, Abagada Hawaza Khata Yaka Lamanasa Pataza Kwa Rashata. And then I quizzed myself. I'm like, okay, Abagada Hawaza. And then check my work. Khata Yaka Lamanasa Pataza Kwa Rasha. Like, that's what I had to go through. I wrote it down in my notebook, just like you do when you're in kindergarten, just like a child, like how you do your ABCs. That's what I did. I just sat there and I just did the work. You know what I mean? And eventually you just get it. And then after you get it, you learn the prepositions, which are, down here. Oh, wait, no, they're not down here no more. The kids that got to it, Salakia. But they usually stay on the board. I'm going to probably put the preposition and possessives right here. I'm going to try to find a home for it on this board. But you learn your prepositions, and then you learn your possessives, and then you learn your tenses. And then once you... Is it down there? No, that's something else. What is that? Oh, that's just those are more words that we use. Like, you might hear us say Salakia, or Khan, or La'a, or Tawada, or Ayandabar, little words like that. Those are just words that we use regularly. And that's going to be the second part of how you become an expert in the Hebrew. First, you're going to learn the salute. We're gonna get you right, sis. We're gonna get you right, sis. But first thing you're gonna learn is the salute, and then you're just gonna start talking like us. You're gonna be like, "Hey, sis, you want some water?" And you're gonna be like, "You want some water, sis?" You're either gonna say, "Yes, I want some water," or you're gonna say, "No, I don't want some water." But instead of saying yes or no, you're gonna say, "Khan, I would like some water, please," or "La'a, I'm good. I don't want any water." And then eventually you're gonna say, instead of saying please, you'll say Baba Kusha. Khan Baba Kusha. I would like some water. And then or La'a, I'm good. Or La'a, I'm Tawab. La'a, I'm Tawab. I'm good. I don't need no water. You're gonna eventually, you stick around, you're gonna just start talking like us. You're gonna say things that we say. You're gonna, repeat things that we say. You're gonna do what we do. Yeah, you don't hear us all the time. Yeah, yeah. We speak it amongst each other. Sometimes I'll be in a grocery store and somebody will bag my groceries and they'll be like, they'll bag my groceries. I'll be like the water, or I'll be like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it's like it been it's like man, what you say because I had to catch myself speaking to people, speaking to like bill collectors, whatever. Them call I'm paying bills, and they say, they say thank you, and I say, the water, man. Or
yeah,
I might may say something bad. I say, what's the like of you?
yeah,
I had to catch myself. I
yeah.
had to catch myself. Like, man, all right.
It means forgive me, or yeah, yeah. It means my bad, forgive me, excuse me, or sorry. However you use it, it all means the same thing, but direct translation is forgive me. Salak means forgive or excuse. The ya at the end is a possessive that means me or my. So salakia means forgive me. You know what I mean? So if I'm walking and then I accidentally bump you. Oh, salakia, salakia. Or if I'm interrupting you, like if you reading, if I see you reading or you writing, I say, Salakia sis, you want a water? Or Salakia sis, if I want to get your attention, I'll just say Salakia, excuse me, forgive me. You know what I mean? Just to be polite. And so you'll hear say that a lot. Uh we just went over Khan, La'a. But yeah, I don't say it in I don't say it outside of here too often, unless it's on accident. Like if I'm in a grocery store and somebody give me my receipt, I'm like, "Oh, the water," or "Thank you." It's sometimes it's just second nature because I'm around brothers and sisters so often. But if you just be around, if you just keep coming around, you're doing an excellent job, sis. You just keep coming around, just keep showing up. You'll learn it. You'll learn it. It'll be like second nature. It won't even be a big thing. But you just got to start here. Just learn how to salute us. Shalom. Yahweh Shamar Alatha. I forgot to put shalom. Let me put that up here before we close out. Like you. So shalom. And you hear us say shalom to Christ for sure. Like if like we don't salute, like formally, we don't use the formal salute if our head is covered. Like sometimes we'll be at our jobs or at our slaveries, and sometimes your slavery requires you to wear a hat. Like I used to work in the kitchen. I was a chef for a couple years in the world, and the chef hat, I had to wear something similar, so I had to have my head covered. So if I was in the truth and somebody called me while I was at my slavery, I would say Shalom, Lord of Christ, instead of saying Shalom, Yahweh Bashem Yashabrakatah, because my head's covered, right? So you might hear us say Shalom, Lord of Christ. So Shalom just means Shalom just means peace. That's all that means. So, and that's part of the salute. So you start with Shalom, Yahweh Shamar, Alatha Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Let me write it in the phonetic spelling as well. But yeah, Shamar or Shalak, your Shalom, Yahweh, Shamar, Alatah, Bahashim. Write this as well. Yahweh Shai. All right. But that's the salute. That's the salute for the sisters. You gonna give it a try before we close out? All right, go ahead. Yahweh, Shamar, uh-huh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Write it down here as well, just so you got it on the board. Yeah, yeah. And I know it's a little Salakia. I know it's a little out of order because of how I had to, because of how I was teaching it. 'Cause I had to break it down, write the English version. I had to write the Hebrew phonetic version. I had to, write it in Hebrew. So it's all over the place. But we gonna get you that printout. We're gonna get you that printout. And the first thing that you like, if you learn any language, the first way that you learn any language is through hearing it. Like a baby doesn't learn mama dada by writing it down and seeing it. They just hear you say mama dada, and then they just make the connection. And then later you learn, oh, this is how you spell it. This is how, so it's the same with the Hebrew. So at first you're just gonna learn Yahweh Shamar Latah Bashim Yahweh Shai without reading it. And then you'll be like, oh, Yahweh means most high. Shamar means watch. Alatah means over you. Ba'ashem means in the name. Yahweh Shai means Christ. You'll put two and two together. But at first, you'll just learn it through speaking, like how we learn Khan, La'ah, Salakia, the water, Ayandabar, Baba Kasha. You'll learn all those different words as well. All right. Akyum, Akwaf, Akwathian. Words like that. Which means brother and sister. Ak. When you hear a brother, usually a man above you will call another brother Ak. It just means brother. Or Akwaf. Akwaf just means sister. Akyum is plural, is more than one brother. So brothers. Akwathian just means sisters. And then I think we was talking about it earlier. Adon or Adawan. Who was? I think I was gonna cross the line. I think that's where I heard it. But Adon or Adawan just means Lord. When we say Khan Adawan Khan, it's like saying yes sir or yes Lord. You know what I mean? So, but you'll pick it up by being around us, and then you'll just learn how to talk like we talk. Like every brother, every sister from where they from. Where you from, sis? I never asked you. Just your adult home, but oh, you was raised in Louisiana? Okay. Yeah, you notice how every I know you know this, but this brother from Louisiana as well. He got a strong Louisiana accent. You have an accent from where you be around. Like I'm from Cincinnati, and I don't recognize it, but brothers, yeah, yeah. But that's the thing about it. Like you learn how to talk from where you from, and it's normal to you, but it's strange to everybody else. So you just stay around us, and then you'll learn how we talk. Just like how you picked up a Louisiana accent from living in Louisiana, I picked up a Ohio accent from living in Ohio for so many years. And so you'll just copy us, just Khan, the water, and then you'll learn from context as well. Like you'll be like, "Hey, Salakia, can you hear me that Baba Kasha?" And then he'll be like, "Khan, sir," or "Khan one Khan." And then you'll learn the context. And I'll be like, ate the water. And then he'll be like, ayanda bar. And now you just learned a lot just now in that whole exchange. It's like, oh, hey, Salakia, excuse me. Can you hear me that? Baba Kasha. The way he used it must mean please. Or, please, go ahead.
Yeah, it's like I mean, you've been in some of my classes. Sometimes you would see me up there and I say read Baba Kashai, like read please.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And so it's like I be talking and read Baba Kashai, and he start reading. I'd be like read please.
Yeah, and that's how you learn it. Like you just, if you pay attention to context, and that's, what time is it? We're gonna be here all night. It's a lucky, but you'll just learn from context. Like that's how I learned from. That's how I learned the Hebrew. I learned from context. Like I just heard brothers saying things, and I was just like, okay, the way he used that, I'm assuming that means please, like, or excuse me, like if a brother bump you, like, oh, Salakia, okay, the way he used that and the context that he used it, and or the context that I always see brothers and sisters using it, I can assume that this means this, and it's usually that easy. What you was about to say?
Oh, that was that you went like you said, when you start getting like be around and start see us speak and all that. Not even that, more to when you start like knowing what our names mean too, because it's gonna start helping you too.
Oh
like,
yeah,
the names.
Yeah. Just calling us by our names. If you're just curious, like that's how I learned a lot of Hebrew, because Hebrew names are just words. It's just words and phrases pronounced in a specific way. So if I meet a brother, if I meet a sister, I'll just ask like, "Hey, Salakia, what's your name mean?" And they'll just tell me, and then I'll either look it up, or they'll just give me the breakdown, or whatever the case is, or you might, as we read during Sabbath service, as we read the Bible in the Hebrew, you might just see a brother's name just in a random context. It's like, oh, that's where that brother gets his name from. So now you understand not only that brother's name, but you understand that brother's spirit a little bit better. You know what I mean? But all of those things, like the Hebrew is all around you, especially if you in here, Hebrew's all around you. So you're going to learn the language just by accident. Like, do you remember how you learned English? Was it difficult? Do you remember? Exactly. That's how it's going to be in here. You're young. You're young in here, and you're going to learn it just like how you learned English. I don't remember myself not knowing English or babbling. I mean, I got young children, so my kids babble all the time. So I remember them babbling, but like as I see them, my youngest kids, I don't remember ever being like that. I just remember knowing English. I just remember reading. I remember knowing words. And that's how it's going to be for you. You're young in here, so you just come up in here, you just listen, you just hear, and then in context, just like a baby would, just like a baby does, in context, you'll learn what words mean. Like mama, oh, that must be mama. Oh, dada, oh, that must be dada. Oh, baba, that must be my baba. That's how you learn English. That's how you're gonna learn the Hebrew. All right. But with that, we're gonna be here all night. So I'm gonna go ahead and close it right there. With that, we're gonna say imadium, which means, and you know what does imadium mean? Just to give you an example of exactly. Why do you know that? Yeah, because when we say it, we stand. So you understand. Imadium, imadium Shabbat, imadium Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shabrakata, Yad Yamata. What does Yad Yamata mean? I was here and I said Yad Yamata, and I did that. What does that mean? Why would you? Well, that's exactly what that means. Yeah, Yad, no, your hand down. Yad means hand. Yad yum is plural, so hands. Mata means down. right? And you know that not because he told you, but because when I say Yajimata, we both did this. So you just learn through context. And then watch that, brother. Oh wait, damn, we both looking. so SAR. What does SAR mean? Okay, that's a good guess. Turn. It means turn. All right. SAR, turn and face assistant. And usually the brother, whoever's especially if there's somebody new, will just walk you through it. Like when we say Imagine, we'll give a courtesy salute to the brothers. Imagine, which means the stand, we'll give a courtesy salute. Yahweh Hashem Yashar Kata. Yajimata, which means hands down. SAR, which means turn and face the sisters. We'll usually walk you through it. And then we'll go give a courtesy salute to the sisters. Individual, Imagine Shabbat. Imagine, Barak. Yahweh Shamar Alatan Ba Hashem Yahweh Shah. Alata or Alatan. Yahweh Shah. I'm right. No sign cray. Yahweh Bash or Yahweh Shamar Alatan Ba Hashem Yahweh Shah. Yeah, okay, so the brother salute means Yahweh Most High in the name of Christ bless you. The sister salute is Yahweh Most High and the Most High watch over you in the name of Christ. So I understand why you would ask that question, but Yahweh Shah or Yahweh or the Bahashim Yahweh Shah is in the beginning of the brother salute. The Bahashim Yahweh Shah is at the end of the sister salute. But it contains pretty much the same words. All right. But Yajimata, class dismissed. That's not correct.
Shalom, Israel. It's that time again. The ISUPK, under Commanding General Yahana, presents the Lord's 57th Annual Passover. That's right, the Lord's 57th Annual Passover, April 4th, 2026, in Houston, Texas. All Black, Hispanics, and Native Americans are commanded to observe the Lord's Passover. This will be the biggest Passover to date. You do not want to miss this. Fresh lamb, fresh wine, and bitter herbs as commanded by the Most High. Only $200 per person, ages 17 and up. The biggest event of the year. There is only one Passover, and it's under Commanding General Yahana. See you there, Israel. Shalom.
Nobody else there to compare to. Train for war, men of war, and warlike apparel. Prefer our leaders, can't get between us. Watch where you